everybody, my name is Colin, and today I will finally be reviewing The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. Now, if you guys have been on my channel for a while, I'm a big DC fan. I'm one of the biggest Batman fans you'll ever meet, and I was a huge fan of the Suicide Squad comics when I was in middle school. And when the 2016 movie came out, I was really excited. The trailer looked really cool, and then I saw it, and I was really disappointed. And I kind of hate it now because it's just such a failure as a movie. The editing was bad, the pacing was bad, some of the dialogue was really corny. It just did not work as a movie. But I think a lot of people saw from that original 2016 Suicide Squad that it was a cool concept, like these bad people that are going on these like near suicide missions for the government. And I think a lot of people saw Amanda Waller was a cool character, and I think Margot Robbie, you saw that there was potential there with her as Harley Quinn. And then you see her come in Birds of Prey, and she's great. And I thought that was a good movie, too. So the DCU, actually, I think they're back on track now. Um, I know Man of Steel was very divisive. BVS was shit. Suicide Squad was pretty shit. Justice League was not good. Wonder Woman was good. Aquaman was pretty good. Wonder Woman 84 was decent. The Snyder Cut, I really liked. I get that it wasn't the most tonally consistent movie. And yeah, the structure was a little messy at times, but it was just a damn fun Justice League movie, and I really enjoyed the Snyder Cut. Definitely too long, but I thought it was a good movie. And I also really liked Birds of Prey, and I love Shazam. So the DCU, they have made some good movies. But I have to say, this 2021 James Gunn The Suicide Squad is by far the best DCU film of all time, and it's not even close. This film is so much fun, and it does such a great job with these characters. I mean, this is personally probably one of my favorite comic book films of all time, and one of the best superhero movies I've seen in a long time. Maybe since The Joker, but I may even love it even more than The Joker. I think it's definitely more rewatchable than that film, but this could very well be the best DC film that they've made since The Dark Knight. It's one of my favorite comic book films of all time, and it's definitely my favorite movie of the year. Um, but let's talk about why I love this movie so much, and sorry, I'm a little sick. Why I think this is just one of the best comic book films ever made. Um, so James Gunn, he really does a good job balancing his style and the tone with the humor and the drama. None of the jokes in this movie, like humor is very subjective, but I find a lot of the humor in this movie to be very funny. And I also find the emotional and dramatic moments to be very dramatic, and the acting in this movie is really good. Let's start off. Idris Elba as Bloodsport. Great character, maybe my favorite character in the movie. His whole mentality is, I'm not that good of a person, so don't expect me to be a good person. But at the same time, he does really care about people, and his relationship with his daughter is very interesting in this movie. And then you, of course, have Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I really liked her in Birds of Prey. I love her in this movie. This is like not just a great comic book performance. I mean, this is one of the best performances of her career thus far. She really handles. She really reminds me in some scenes of like Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. Now, she's a hero in this movie. She's one of the main protagonists of the film, so it's a little different. But there's one scene where they're beating her up, and she just is laughing and singing. That reminds me a lot of Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. Um, then you have Sylvester Stallone as King Shark. I did know a little bit of King Shark from the comics, especially the Suicide Squad comics. I didn't expect it to work that well in this movie. It worked really well. Like, he was really good. I thought King Shark was just a very cool character. John Cena as Peacemaker, excellent. Him and Bloodsport and Peacemaker, they just have this like little rivalry throughout the movie that's very fun. And there's one scene in the jungle where they're just trying to one up each other, and it's, to me, it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And then you of course have Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. He's very good in this. You have Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. Probably one of my favorite characters in the movie. They really nail the, because what you have to understand is she works for the government, and while she may be good intentioned, her ways of running the Suicide Squad are very poor in terms of like morale and stuff like that. She has no problem using children. She even threatens Bloodsport's daughter at one point. So yeah, she's a bitch. She's evil, but they really nail that from the comics. I don't think they did a good job presenting that in the 2016 film. I just think they absolutely show you that she is a really evil woman that has no problem having children, men, innocent people die. as long as her agenda and what she wants to complete is fulfilled. Um, and then you have Ratcatcher, played by Daniela Melchior, and she's amazing in this movie. One of my three favorite characters in the film. They really make you empathize with her character and her backstory. And the way that they use the rats in this movie are very well done. And you also have the Polka Dot Man, just a great character overall. I mean, it's so crazy. Like, this is such a comic book movie. Like, Polka Dot Man I knew a little bit about in the comics, but it wasn't a character that I'd read that much about. But no, he is great in this movie. Very good character. Again, they do a very good job at presenting these backstories and origin stories as the story's going on. It doesn't do like 30 minutes of forced backstories and then you do the mission. No, the movie just starts and it's excellent. The soundtrack to this movie is incredible. The way that James Gunn blends the music with these action scenes is very well done. And to me, it has some of the best cinematography we've ever seen in a comic book film. There's one shot of them walking in the rain to the Pixies' Hey song. That's one of my favorite shots in the movie, and it's probably one of my favorite shots in any comic book film. It's just such a badass shot, and it looks just like a comic book. And when the text appears on the screen, it's meant to represent like a chapter into a comic book. And that's what I love about this movie so much. Like Thor Ragnarok, it just does not hold back at all. James Gunn has an idea, and he finds a way to make it work. And the movie really, what it does very well, just like Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn makes you feel for these characters. You empathize with these characters. You don't hate them. Like, they've done bad things. They're not the best people. But you still understand that these are good people at the end of the day. And it really does turn into a superhero movie in those last 15 minutes. The third act is probably one of my favorite third acts in any comic book film I've ever seen. And James Gunn, the way he shoots this movie, the editing, just all very well done. And overall, I just completely adored this movie. On a scale of 0 to 4 stars, I would give it a 4 out of 4 stars. My favorite movie of the year, and one of the best comic book films ever made. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to subscribe and like this video. Thank you, have a good day, and I will hasta la vista.